The fear of failure is one of the most common and deeply rooted fears that affect people from all walks of life, regardless of age, background, or experience. It can be so powerful that it stops individuals from pursuing their dreams, trying new things, or stepping outside their comfort zones. This fear is often fueled by the worry of embarrassment, disappointment, or judgment, and it can create a mental barrier so strong that even the thought of failing causes immense anxiety and hesitation. People ask themselves, "What if I fail?" And that simple question can freeze them in place, preventing action, growth, and opportunity. Yet, if we take a closer look, failure is not a sign of defeat, but a crucial and inevitable part of learning, growing, and ultimately succeeding. The key to overcoming the fear of failure lies in understanding its true nature, shifting our mindset around it, and developing tools to face it head-on with courage and resilience. When we do this, we unlock the ability to live more freely and boldly, embracing life's challenges and the valuable lessons they bring. Fear of failure often starts early in life, shaped by experiences, upbringing, and societal messages. Many of us are conditioned to believe that failure is something shameful to be avoided at all costs. From school tests to job interviews, and even social situations, the pressure to succeed can feel overwhelming. This pressure can create a perfectionist mindset where anything less than perfect is unacceptable. Such thinking not only increases anxiety, but also creates a rigid, inflexible approach to life where mistakes are feared rather than accepted as part of the process. When we view failure as a reflection of our worth or intelligence, we build a fragile self-esteem that crumbles at the first sign of difficulty. This fragile foundation makes failure seem catastrophic rather than a temporary setback. To break free from this cycle, it is essential to challenge these beliefs and recognize that failure is a universal experience that everyone faces, often repeatedly, on the path to success. Reframing failure is one of the most powerful ways to overcome the fear associated with it. Instead of seeing failure as a final judgment or personal flaw, we can learn to view it as an important teacher that provides feedback and insight. Failure reveals what doesn't work and opens the door to improvement and innovation. Many famous inventors, entrepreneurs, and artists experienced numerous failures before achieving their breakthroughs. Thomas Edison, for example, famously said that he did not fail, but found 10,000 ways that didn't work while inventing the light bulb. This perspective shows that failure is not a dead end, but a step forward, a necessary part of the journey that helps refine ideas and strategies. By embracing this mindset, failure loses its power to intimidate and instead becomes a valuable source of knowledge and growth. One of the key concepts that support this shift in perspective is the growth mindset, a term popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. People with a growth mindset see challenges and failures as opportunities to grow rather than threats to their self-worth. This contrasts sharply with a fixed mindset, where individuals believe their abilities are static and failure is a reflection of their innate limitations. Adopting a growth mindset encourages experimentation, resilience, and a focus on progress rather than perfection. It allows us to approach setbacks with curiosity rather than fear, turning "what if I fail" into "what can I learn from this?" This shift empowers us to take risks, try new approaches, and bounce back stronger from disappointments. Self-compassion is another critical element in overcoming the fear of failure. Too often, when we fail, we become overly critical of ourselves, engaging in harsh self-judgment that deepens feelings of inadequacy and fear. This negative self-talk can create a vicious cycle where fear of failure leads to failure, which then reinforces the fear. Practicing self-compassion means treating ourselves with kindness, patience, and understanding, especially during difficult times. It means recognizing that failure is part of the shared human experience and that everyone makes mistakes. Instead of beating ourselves up, we learn to comfort and encourage ourselves. This compassionate approach reduces anxiety, boosts emotional resilience, and fosters a healthier relationship with failure, allowing us to recover more quickly and maintain motivation. Breaking down large goals into smaller, manageable steps can also help reduce fear of failure. When goals seem too big or vague, they can feel overwhelming and increase the pressure to succeed immediately. This pressure can amplify fear and make failure seem more daunting. By focusing on incremental progress and celebrating small wins, we build confidence and momentum. Each small success acts as proof that we are capable, gradually eroding fear and increasing motivation. This approach turns the journey into a series of achievable actions, making failure feel less threatening and more like part of the learning process. It also helps maintain perspective, reminding us that success is rarely instantaneous, but rather the result of consistent effort over time. Having a supportive network is essential when facing the fear of failure. Sharing our fears, setbacks, and successes with friends, family, mentors, or support groups helps normalize failure and reduce feelings of isolation. Hearing stories about others' struggles and how they overcame failure can be incredibly inspiring and reassuring. Knowing that failure is a common experience helps diminish shame and embarrassment, creating a safe space for vulnerability and growth. Supportive relationships provide encouragement, advice, and perspective, reminding us that setbacks are temporary and surmountable. This sense of community strengthens our resolve and makes it easier to take risks and keep moving forward despite setbacks. It is also vital to remember that failure is usually temporary and not a permanent reflection of our abilities or potential. Many successful people faced repeated failures before reaching their goals. J.K. Rowling's first Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by multiple publishers before becoming a global phenomenon. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, but used that setback to fuel his determination and eventual success. These stories highlight the importance of perseverance and patience. Success often requires time, effort, and multiple attempts. Viewing failure as a phase rather than a final verdict helps reduce fear and encourages persistence. It teaches us that failure is not an end, but a part of the ongoing process of growth and achievement. Taking action despite fear is perhaps the most effective way to overcome it. Fear tends to grow when we avoid situations where failure might happen. The longer we wait for perfect conditions or complete confidence, the more intimidating failure becomes. However, each step we take reduces fear's power. Action builds courage and self-trust, demonstrating that failure is survivable and often less frightening than we imagine. Feeling fear is natural and even healthy, signaling that we are stepping outside our comfort zones and growing. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Every time we move forward despite fear, we strengthen our ability to face future challenges with confidence. In addition to mental and emotional strategies, practical preparation can also help reduce fear of failure. Thorough planning, learning from previous experiences, and developing problem-solving skills increase our confidence and readiness. Anticipating obstacles and creating contingency plans make challenges feel more manageable and less overwhelming. When we feel prepared, we're less likely to be paralyzed by fear and more capable of responding effectively to difficulties. This practical readiness complements mindset shifts and emotional resilience, creating a comprehensive approach to overcoming fear. Ultimately, overcoming the fear of failure requires changing our relationship with failure itself. It involves developing patience, self-awareness, and acceptance of imperfection. It means recognizing that failure is an essential part of the human experience and that growth arises from trial, error, and persistence. This transformation allows us to approach life with greater courage, curiosity, and resilience. By letting go of the paralyzing fear of failure, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences that enrich our lives and help us realize our potential. The power to overcome fear resides within each of us. starting with the simple choice to try despite the possibility of failure. Embracing failure as a natural and valuable part of life frees us from fear's grip and paves the way for growth, learning, and success. Next time you find yourself asking, "What if I fail?" remember that failure is not the end, but a beginning. It is a stepping stone toward your dreams, a source of wisdom, and proof of your courage. Each failure brings you closer to your goals and teaches you valuable lessons that success alone cannot provide. Taking that first step despite fear is the bravest thing you can do. Your willingness to fail is your greatest strength, guiding you through challenges and helping you build a meaningful, fulfilling life. Failure is not something to fear, but a vital part of the journey to success. With every step you take, you move closer to the life you want to live and the person you want to become.